Many an anemone sees an enemy anemone. Moose noshing much mush. Mike makes money mincing meat for mystery meals. Macho muscle men moving mountains at midday. Many modest monks meditating minds. Male monkeys mopping malls in March. The funny thing is, I could have just said one of them sentences and been done, but I wanted to say all that shit. Anyway, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Whatever We Want podcast. I am one of your hosts. You can call me Jazz or Superjaz.
Superjaz.
As nature intended. SJ, JT, whatever you want, what have you in the like. And as always, I am joined by the other hosts of the show.
That's right. You guys know who it is, what's going on, when it's happening, where it's at, and why we're here today. How you doing? It is I, the sublimely magnificent Big Ugly himself, Omari Ellis, feogrande on YouTube, also known as Pete on this show. I'm here too.
Word. And yes, sorry, just in my chair, my that little carpet that you put under the chair so it don't roll around but acting weird lately. Anyway, yes, like I said, this is the Whatever We Want podcast where we do just that. We talk about whatever we want. We do not lead this conversation. This conversation leads us, and we let these chips fall where they may.
Every Wednesday.
We let these chips, Okay.
Yeah. That we do. Yeah.
Anyways.
So, how
ain't really no, I was gonna say ain't really no sports updates because we've been doing sports updates for the last like fucking six, 7, 8 episodes or some shit.
In case you
At
missed
least 6
it,
of them.
in case you missed it, the Celtics are out of the NBA playoffs, and the Bruins are out of the NHL playoffs. You know a fun thing about both of those
You give a
teams?
fuck about hockey.
You know a fun thing about both of those teams?
They exist.
They lost to 8 seeds to be eliminated.
Okay.
While
thought you were
everybody
gonna
thought,
laugh.
while they came into the playoffs, with everybody talking about them being the de facto champs as they come in. That's
Right.
hilarious to me. Finally, Boston knows what disappointment is. Anyway, well, disappointment when it comes to sports. There has been like 1 or 2 things negative happening in Boston history, I'm sure. Negative things happen everywhere. But sports-wise, they don't really ever deal with disappointment. So,
But I mean, where else could you go when you need to park your car in Harvard Yacht? No, I'm done.
well, New England is more than one state. And I know it's mainly associated with Boston, but
Well, that's supposed to be a Boston stereotypical Boston dialect, though, right? Like nobody says I'm doing a Connecticut accent.
well, that's what I said. I was
Yeah.
telling you, like, yeah, it is mainly associated with it, but or other people in the region say.
If the Patriots are they're the New England Patriots, what city are they based in?
Boston.
Okay.
Technically,
I thought so, but I wasn't
Foxborough is where their stadium is, but they're Boston.
Well, that's like what is it? The like big stadium or venue in Chicago is technically Rosemont, Illinois, but it's Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Rosemont Arena, but it's fucking Chicago. You know, like the St. Louis municipalities. Like obviously St. Louis, there's St. Louis City and St. Louis County, but then the municipalities, there's like Ferguson, which everybody found out about Ferguson in a bad way. But beforehand, Ferguson was just kind of considered St. Louis adjacent. But Ferguson, Clayton, Kirkwood, technically University City is technically its own city.
U City, yeah.
Yeah. But we just consider it St. Louis.
Yeah, Jennings and other shit like that.
Yeah. So technically, whenever you go,
Creve Coeur.
right. So technically, what'd you say? Florissant, yeah. Florissant. Like when you go to the Esquire movie theater, which is a local chain around here, you go to the Esquire movie theater, you're technically going to a whole different city.
Yeah.
Which really makes you think just how tiny is St. Louis. Have you ever actually thought about that?
I mean, as tiny as any like city's actual self. because they all have those things.
municipalities that you consider to be part of the city that actually aren't part of the city.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, Ferguson, Missouri has the connotation it does because we used to just consider it St. Louis.
I still do, but
Right. But what I mean, right. But the entire country suddenly learned that
uh,
this city existed in Missouri.
yeah.
When or like Pagedale is another place where is hoodish or whatever, I guess, depending on who you ask. But people would just be like, "No, I'm from St. Louis, bro."
Yeah.
It's just like, no, it's a whole other city. I think Wellston.
Wellston. I'm not sure if that's part of St. Louis, but I know Wellston is something around that town.
Yeah, I'm just saying that's just so funny. Like, I mean, like, uh, so I'm trying to think what's like the biggest city,
Oh,
city
no
before you
idea.
go to.
No idea. The city limits and all that stuff. No fucking clue. I've been gone almost about the amount of time I lived there.
I'm talking about just like in the country. What's the biggest city? Probably.
Oh,
Well, clearly we don't know, but I'm just speculating. Look, you're like, I don't motherfucking know.
because when we get to the big cities, you're like, your New York and LA's. New York's got Manhattan, the Bronx, Harlem, and all the other 50,000 things there. LA's got, Los Santos and all those other parts of it. So who knows, Compton and shit. So,
is is like Manhattan and all that stuff, their boroughs, are they considered cities?
I,
And I mean that's a
I,
legit question for
I
real.
am not a smart enough man to tell you the difference. I am not that educated on the infrastructure of the country and how what
Educated
classifies what
enough to
as
use the
what.
word infrastructure.
I said, but I'm not educated on it. I know a lot of words. I know anti-disestablishmentarianism is a word. No,
IT.
I st- technically I didn't say I can't. I said I won't.
Touche. No, that's really fucking fair. Like, I never said I couldn't do it. I just said fuck you. Oh man. Shout out to the Beastie Boys for like so everybody said that who was it? Gwen Stefani taught like a lot of people, which I'm like, y'all some dumb motherfuckers. But Gwen Stefani taught everybody how to spell banana with Bananas. Shout out to the Beastie Boys for that one song. I forget what it was, but they taught me the five boroughs. Brooklyn, Bronx, Queens, and Staten, to the Becky Rose, to the top of Manhattan. It's like, and now I know the five boroughs because the Beastie Boys put that in. I forget what song, but they put that in there. So I'm like, and I'm dead serious. Whenever I'm sitting up and I'm like, what are the five boroughs? Okay, Brooklyn, Bronx, Queens, Staten Island, the top of Manhattan.
Not gonna lie, I did not know there were only five.
How many fucking boroughs did you think there were?
I
Clearly, we're not New Yorkers, but
Well,
yeah.
like you said, are these cities, are these boroughs? I thought the terms were interchangeable. As far as I was concerned, Manhattan was its own city. Uh, Brooklyn, Bronx, Queens, and Staten as well as I thought Harlem was one of them. I don't know, but fair enough. That's what I said.
Apparently,
I am not educated enough on the infrastructure of other cities. I barely remembered if Wellston was part of St. Louis, and I'm still not sure if I was right about that.
I mean, it is definitely in the St. Louis
Not from
municipal
St. Louis.
area, but I don't know if it's part of St. Louis or if it's its own technical
Yeah.
city,
Yeah, I'm
like
not
Clayton.
sure of what its municipal status is.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? But what was I gonna say? Mnemonic devices or little sing song type things to help you remember shit.
Oh
Like I
yeah.
remember my very educated mother just served us 9 pizzas. It's supposed to be the order of the planets. Is it
Mm-hmm.
Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, even though Pluto ain't a planet no more, because
Yeah,
it's like
it
my very
is.
educated mother. Yeah, yeah.
Um,
It is a planet,
and as far as I'm concerned, damn it. And
but it ain't.
the Triceratops is still a dinosaur.
Did they say the
And
Triceratops ain't a dinosaur? Did that
oh
happen?
yeah, that was a while ago. They said it was technically like the baby form of a two-horn thing, and the third horn becomes part of the bigger plate that the two horned one had. Some bullshit. Triceratops is a dinosaur. Damn it, as far as I'm concerned, it's his own damn dinosaur.
What about the three horns in Land Before Time?
Yeah, but what about all the things that say Pluto's a planet, Jazz? That they decided to one day come out and go, yeah, we're removing that.
Yeah, but I mean, hey, man, 20, what was it, 10, 11? Like Pluto would have got the axe, bruh. It's like you just afloat,
Pluto
you
got
just
the
some.
X before 2010, I thought.
Well, it couldn't have been too much before that. It was like what, maybe
I thought I was in high school when it
six,
got the
six,
X.
7. I know YouTube was around, and the reason why I know YouTube was around, so this is funny how you associate shit with shit. I remember YouTube was around because you remember Lonely Girl 15, that was like supposed to be an old girl in her room, and she was going online in the early days of YouTube and
Yeah.
doing vlogs, and it turned out to be fake. But she was like doing shit in the early days of YouTube and shit. And one of her videos was talking about like
Pluto
Pluto
being.
wasn't a planet. Yeah,
I mean, for all I know, you're right. I'm again. That era.
I think you might be right. I
I'm
think it might have been
starting to
like
get up
6,
there when
7,
my
8.
years are blending together. I thought I was in high school. It could have been right when I started going to college.
But that's one thing. That's one thing we can tell our grandkids now. You know, years and years, decades down. Is, back in my day, they had 9 planets, and Pluto wasn't just Mickey's dog.
Yeah, I don't.
Who's
I,
Mickey?
one inevitability about life that I don't like about myself is that I've started to have like random conversations about kids these days and how stupid they are compared to what we were.
What? That is a very open-ended statement. Should we elaborate?
Uh,
Stupid they are.
let's go on a bus with the Roman candle and just start firing it off in the bus, pointing
Who
it.
the fuck did that?
Some kid I saw on fucking Twitter earlier today. And it was a school bus, and they just like, ha ha ha, ha yeah, light it.
What
Like,
grade?
Kids. I want to
Okay.
say middle, maybe early high school. They're kids. They're all dumb. This is also the fire. We're also talking about people who are even younger than the fire challenge generation.
Fire challenge. I forgot about the fire challenge.
Like there were other challenges with it, and I'm glad that for the most part challenges are done. But the
Say that
fire
now.
challenge,
The crate challenge is only a few months removed.
it's like a couple years.
No, the crate because
Where you
I remember.
walk on the crates?
Yeah, that's not a couple years.
I think it is. I'm pretty sure we talked about that shit year one of this show.
That's not a couple years. Then that's 1 year.
That's 2 years. We're on year 3.
Are we on year 3? We're on year 3. Well, I knew that too. Holy shit, I knew that. But still, well, I don't want to do the show anymore. No, I'm joking. No, but the crate challenge was like, no, that was like 2020, if not early 21. Damn, you're right. Holy shit. Holy shit. Bruh, 2020 and then working for a living. Those two things. Working for a living in general, right? Getting older and working for a living. But then everybody almost feels like we all just lost a year in 2020. So that just helps to have just everything just move so quickly and blend together. You're right though. My bad.
Yeah. Yep.
So
Yep.
shit,
But-
what was the last challenge then? Damn, I guess you're right.
Crate?
That was the last big. People was busting their ass hard doing that. I told you I wanted to
It
do.
was safer than the fire. Oh, I'm okay with it. It's safer than the fire challenge. Like I still wouldn't have done either one of them damn things. I wouldn't have done either one. As an adult, I wouldn't have done either one. As a kid, you may have peer pressured me into the crate.
I mean, we can't forget though that in our formative years, being late teens, early 20s, was when the first big challenge got started with the cinnamon one. That was our
That
generation. Yeah,
that wasn't. I wasn't in high school with the cinnamon challenge. It's like
late teens,
2010s.
early 20s is what I said, bro.
It was like 2010s. I thought. Whatever. Maybe. You're right.
You are
Sure.
4 years older than me, so maybe I was in mine. Because you got to think about it. Okay, 2010, I would have been 19. So for me, that is late teens.
Yeah, and I guess that would have been early 20s for me.
So then shut your
Wait, 19?
mouth.
In 2010? I don't think I was 20.
91, 01,
No,
and
you
then
probably 19.
01 is 10, 11 is 20, subtract 1 is 19. I was born in 91.
Wait, if you were born in 91, 11, 20,
Yes.
yeah, then you're 19.
Yes.
How would I have only been...
So then you would have been 23-ish.
How I was that young in 2010?
I just told your age, so if you want to mute it, you can do it in post, my bad.
I don't think. It's okay. I don't think the math is accurate. But I'm not going to trip off of it. Yeah. Or if the math is accurate, for me, it's not exact. It's off by enough of a margin. Anyway, bottom line is, I wouldn't do no cinnamon challenge either. But
I'm saying our generation did.
Did you light yourself on fire, Jazz?
No, I didn't, and I was never fucking going to.
Okay. I admitted that in my youth, may have been stupid enough to do the crate challenge. That is what I said. When I was in my youth, I could have been peer pressured
you would go pour
into
rubbing alcohol
the
on yourself
crate.
and put a flame to the shit.
The fire challenge is not a challenge I would have done at any point in my life.
The cinnamon challenge walked, so the fire challenge could run. I just had to say that shit. But I mean, we
milk was around the same time as cinnamon. And
Well,
yeah,
no,
that would
I-
have been about 2011, yeah, because
I was
what's
saying,
their
the milk-
names?
you remember
Barats
milk
and
challenge, right?
Beretta had a song about it.
you talking about the milk challenge, right?
Yeah.
Where it was like you drink a gallon of milk in 1 hour,
Mm-hmm.
which is fucking really bad because you already ain't supposed to consume that much dairy, and in a fucking 60 minutes your stomach is not going to agree with it. Consuming a gallon of any liquid in an hour is a lot, let alone dairy, which humans are the only animals to drink milk after infancy and from another animal, which is already bad enough. So you drinking this shit that we shouldn't be drinking. I drink it. I'm just saying. We shouldn't be drinking. You're drinking a gallon of this shit and it produces mucus and all this other whatever the fuck. You're gonna fucking throw up, man. And then there was the banana Sprite challenge, which apparently bananas and Sprite, when it like hits your stomach, it causes you to vomit or whatever. Yeah, that was like a whole thing.
Yeah, I did anything where the result is let's see how fast we puke. I was not doing.
Facts. Oh, you remember? You might even be able to find this on some fucking weird, who knows what the fuck corner of the interwebs. But you remember? We talked about the condom challenge. Remember the condom challenge? You remember the condom challenge? Where people were snorting condoms. You remember that shit?
And they
You remember
both-
that shit?
No, I don't.
So the whole,
I don't
so-
remember the condom challenge being a thing.
so what it was is the reason why you got an ear, nose, and throat doctor is because everything is all connected, right? So people would take a condom, put that motherfucker up their nose, and you're supposed to pull it out of your mouth. And a lot of people were doing that shit. That's not our generation. That's these motherfuckers. Like, yeah.
That's the fire challenge generation.
The same.
The Tide Pod challenge
I was
generation.
just about to say the same reason Tide Pods have to be locked up in grocery
the other
stores.
thing where you like, yeah, we were just as dumb as those kids. Were you eating? Would you have eaten a Tide Pod?
No, because those are deadly chemicals that should not be ingested. They should only be used for cleaning. External, not internal use.
This is what I'm saying.
It
Kids
was
are
such a
stupid.
it was such a fucking epidemic that they had to lock
Yeah,
up Tide Pod.
and don't get me wrong, because okay, the reason I could and yeah, full disclosure, the reason I said I could have probably been peer pressured into a crate challenge is because I did some kind of stupid shit like that in high school. So yes, I did the rather than crate challenge, I did stare into a projector lamp challenge. Well, we didn't call it challenge. We didn't call it challenge. Longer than
Right.
the other guys.
How like more than a minute?
Longest wins.
Jesus Christ.
I don't think anybody lasted that long, to be
Okay.
fair. But that definitely was because projector lamps are bright as fuck and we're like point blank. So, well, not point blank, but damn near.
I know what you mean.
Probably like the distance from, I'd say like here to the camera. You know,
6 inches, 7 inches. I feel like that though, who can stare into the bright ass like light, like the flashlight projector, whatever. I feel like every dude with his friends,
yeah. So I'm saying
high school age,
stupid
does
challenges
shit like
like
that. I feel like
the
everybody's done it
idea
at some
of a
point. 'Cause I did that
stupid
shit.
of a stupid. This is painful. We also did hold your hand, over the projector lamp, which was also hot as shit for the longest endurance. Like pain endurance things like that. Sure, set yourself fully on fire because reasons, and that and not and I don't like it wasn't do this without killing yourself, or you know what I mean. The goal, the setting yourself entirely aflames was the challenge. And my thing is, why are you calling this a challenge? What's challenge about it? Because no one's trying to end. Like it would have still been stupid. Would have been even more dumb if they tried to see how long can you endure being on fire. But that's not what it was.
It was
It was
just
just set yourself on fire.
simply just accomplish the task of rubbing alcohol on you and putting a match on it. Yeah. No, well, I mean, over the years, like I said, we like our generation kind of started the whole challenge thing, but it was more of a challenge. Can you swallow a spoonful of cinnamon? Can you drink a gallon of milk? Dumb as shit, but over time, it just got muddled to we called it challenge, but it wasn't a challenge. Biting a Tide Pod isn't a challenge. You're just biting a fucking Tide Pod. Snorting a condom is not a challenge. It's just, can you snort the condom? Did it. It was like, so we were like, let's at least try to endure the shit.
Why a fucking condom? You couldn't even just do it with a fucking balloon. It has to be a condom.
I think the point of the condom, and I never saw anything. I never saw anything that said this is why, but I think the point of the condom is because the lubricant probably helps it slide down the passageway. I don't know. I'm being for real. I don't fucking know.
I don't like putting fucking Flonase up my nose, let alone anything else.
Meanwhile, you probably got some fucking like nasty motherfucker, some like weird ass like fucking dark recesses of the fucking world who's like put a condom up my nose. Bitch, I did that shit Tuesday. Getting fucked in his nose a million times and shit, or her nose, or whatever the fuck.
You're saying
God.
some weirdo just.
His eyes don't necessarily have to look like that. Where does the condom go? You tell me. What the fuck?
Come and get it.
What did you just say?
Come and get it. Because it's like stuck in. Oh no, that's not what I was thinking. But
What were
that's
you about to
even
say?
worse. Like, I got something in the throat because it half snorted it. So that's why it was just like, come and get it. Gross. Let's stop this. It's terrible. I don't like it. These kids are dumb. That's the point. Stop snorting condoms. Stop setting yourself on fire. Stop eating Tide Pods. Stop setting off fucking Roman candles in the fucking school bus. Also, Stop with these pranks that ain't pranks. These fucking. You hear about that dude in Britain?
No, what the fuck
Because
happened?
stupidity is not just an American only thing. It is definitely in abundance here. Calm down, people. But it is not exclusive to here. There's a kid, I think it's like Mizzy or something, a TikToker, and he's made a lot of. Me saying anything about him ain't gonna. It ain't like I'm giving him free publicity. Dude's been on Piers Morgan at this point.
And Pierce probably fucking like ripped him a new one the way you talking.
So he has this thing where he's a TikTok prankster. And his idea of pranks is doing things like, let's just walk into somebody's house and sit there in the middle of the day. You know, ladies out doing her gardening, like walking into random people's houses.
That's how you get shot in the face.
Is this the study group? Where's this at? And she's like, oh, honey, come in. These people are just walking in the house. And they're like sitting on the couch. Yo, we thought this was the study group. Ha 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 ha. Boo boo boo. And
that's how you get shot in the face.
Try that shit in Florida. That ain't
try that, try that shit in the hood.
Also true, but you know, at least the people in the hood technically could get arrested for it.
Let's not go down there.
No, I'm not even making it a racial thing. I'm just saying.
Oh, that you were.
Florida has a law where the whole stand your ground thing. Where it's
the stand your ground shit, yeah.
Oh, you trespass? Die.
And then you can't really get prosecuted in the slightest.
This motherfucker walked into your house uninvited. You told him to leave, and he just started acting like it was a study group.
But in this case, whatever the motherfucking state, who gives a fuck?
I'm saying, at least, you know, some people might wait before pulling the trigger. Motherfuckers down here is crazy. A dude shot someone for knocking on his door. Like, people down here, they don't like the trespassing. Anyway,
so
bottom line is he did other stuff, like he went up to like some girls like, hey, you wanna die? You wanna die? Huh? You wanna die? You wanna die? You wanna die? And when they get all uncomfortable and then like threaten to call the cops, he's like, what? I got like this hair dye. You walking
people do like that's not just him. People do shit like that.
But he's also dressed like fucking
sketchy,
like he's going to fucking stab them, and he's like, yo, you want to die? And then there's other stuff like he went up, took somebody's dog, never gave it back, just kind of took the dog. That was the prank. He recently a subway train or something stopped, and he got in and started getting in the control room like, oh, GTA in real life. They're kind of like, dude, you can't just take over a subway train control room. But
he's recording the evidence to help prosecute him.
And he's saying stuff like, when Piers Morgan brought over, there's like, you only said this because I'm black. You only gives me this break because I'm black. He's like, what does your skin tone have to do with this? No, I'm saying it because it's fucking wrong. No, you're saying it because I'm black and I'm oppressed. And I'm like, oh my God.
See, that's the thing, man. When people say the whole I'm black thing and bring up race and all that stuff, and they bring it up when it's clearly not that, that's what makes people, when it really is that reason, that's what makes people be like, oh, here you go again. Because it's not that this time. So when it is that shit, that's people cite this.
People abusing the system, ruin it for the people who need it.
There you go in a nutshell.
And
so
that's whatever system you want.
Across the board,
yeah, whatever system you want. When people abuse it, they ruin it for the people who need it.
What so did something in particular happen? Or are you just talking about him in general?
He just keeps doing stuff. I think he got arrested a couple times, and they just kind of let him go back out, only for him to do it again now because he got even more followers and shit. And it's crazy. And there's other people like him that it leads to other people that are copycats because they want the easy clicks, because that's where we are now, where if it's easy clicks, it doesn't matter if people hate you, they know your name, bro.
That's the one thing that I will say, and I've thought of this too. in a little bit of defense of this generation, we were the last generation to know the world before the internet took over. And now this generation just knows the internet. And even more so when we were, in high school or, fresh out or whatever, was when YouTube first started. So we saw the inception of YouTube, then we saw YouTube become popular, then become a conglomerate, then fucking take over and change the world. But all they know is YouTube. So it'd be different growing up as an 8, 9, 10-year-old in 2023, and then you see shit on social media and you think that your life is only as important as the amount of hearts that you got on your Instagrams or the amount of likes you got on your YouTubes and all that. And don't get me wrong, that stuff is important to an extent, depending on what you're trying to do with your life. But your life is not equated to reactions on Twitter and Facebook and TikTok. But if you 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years old and you going to school, because you already got the peer pressure of school, but now you got the peer pressure of the entire fucking world, and you make yourself think that this shit is a much bigger deal than it is. And this is coming from somebody who only got social media. I use it recreationally, but initially got every social media platform I have for networking. So I understand the benefits of it. Technically, on a very, 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 very small scale, I'm an underground rapper thanks to social media and YouTube. That's dope. So it's beneficial, but it's like, I in defense of the generation, man, it's like I've seen stuff where they've said that young girls now supposedly have even lower self-esteem than they did 20, 30 years ago, because 20, 30 years ago, they were comparing themselves to, and I mean, I'm saying girls just because of what I saw, but I mean, it's people in general. But they were comparing themselves to like celebrities that they saw on TV and magazines. But now social media, where people can put on filters and shit, now they're looking at celebrities and they looking at their friends, and they're like, why don't I look like the person in my class right next to me and all this shit? So I don't know, man. But it's just like I say, like in defense,
I'm not gonna blame that on social media because that's always been a thing.
It's always been a thing. That's what I'm saying. Right.
That's why if you notice people every day.
What I was gonna say was, if you notice, I brought that up at the end, but I hopped off of that argument.
Yeah.
So but like basically the point I was making of the entire argument, without that little last part, because that'll muddle things, was that, like I said, in defense of this generation, imagine being brought into a world where the juggernaut of YouTube is already the juggernaut of YouTube. So, in defense of them, I'm not saying this shit ain't motherfucking like ass backwards, dumb as fuck. Why are you putting rubbing alcohol, which is flammable as hell, on your fucking like hair and chest and fucking shorts and whatever the fuck else? And
it's like your whole body too. It ain't even like you're just like hand, stick it in water. No, you set your whole ass body on fire.
Yeah, no, it's dumb. Why are you biting into chemicals that when ingested can kill you? And like, I'm not gonna swallow it. I'm just going, no, bitch, the fuck are you doing? If you fucking swallow too much toothpaste, that's bad. Like, and that shit is made to go into your mouth. So it's like I took 2 of these Tylenols before we started. Because I've been getting sinus headaches since the spring sprung and shit. If I eat too much of these bitches, I gotta be careful. I eat too much of these, I'll fucking get fucked up. Why would I fucking be like, ooh, Tide? Thanks. Like, no, it's fucking stupid. But I'm saying in defense, because I'm not saying necessarily me, but I'm not saying not me. But when you 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, you're gonna do some dumbass shit. And peer pressure is a motherfucker. I'm not excusing it, but I am somewhat giving it an explanation.
And again, I am not saying don't do stupid shit as a kid. I know plenty of people who considered themselves idiots with cameras, one of myself being one of them. And we didn't even upload this shit to YouTube. So I get it. I watched Jackass as a kid too. But you know what I did? And what a lot of people did or didn't do was set themselves on fire. Or eat Tide Pods. That's all I'm saying. There's levels to this.
I agree.
That's all. But aside from that, let's see. No new sports stuff. No new sports stuff. Oh, summer's here.
And the time is right for dancing in the street. No, what was it?
Yes, summer's here and it's time to travel. Whether you're going out east or out west, you're going out and you're traveling. I'm going to CEO near the end of June.
I was trying to see where the hell you were going with
Going
this.
going to LA early in June for reasons. Brief go out there. Going to CEO at the end of June. And then I may be going back out to LA for different reasons in July. Similar but different reasons. I'm not sure what I can share.
Okay. I know you can't share the one thing.
It's more I don't know if I can.
Right.
I can share. I will share exactly what it is. I'm just saying reasons right now.
The second thing, I don't even know what the second thing is. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But
I barely do. I'm not gonna lie to you.
But number one, though, that's pretty dope, right?
Yeah. So, but yeah, going to CEO this summer with the Street Fighter 6 is gonna be out. And
it's about goddamn time. How long has 5 been out?
About as long as 4 was before 5 did.
Which was like how long? What is that?
6 or 7 years.
That's what I'm saying. It's a long time to have like
less
6
time
years.
than between 7 and 8 for Tekken.
Yeah.
Tekken 7, that game's been out a moment. Tekken 7 was out a long ass time. But Tekken 8 doesn't come out till next year. But yeah, Street Fighter 6 comes out this week. That should be fun. Mortal Kombat 1 got announced. It's pretty much 12, but much like in Mortal Kombat 9, the universe is reset again.
I was about to say, did they just remaster the original Mortal Kombat with better graphics?
No. So, do you care about MK spoilers?
As far as like storyline?
Yeah, for the series?
No. I just play. I play the storyline is cool, but I just play the game.
Without me getting into too much detail, because I'm not entirely up to date with what.
And the Mortal Kombat lore is deep.
Yeah, so, but I'm not too sure about everything that happened in 11, but I know the overall idea of why 12 is called 1. So, original MK, the original MK story and storyline, it takes place over from MK, the original Mortal Kombat, to Mortal Kombat Armageddon. Technically, they don't call MK Mortal Kombat versus DC, MK8 or nothing, but everybody referred to MK9 and onward as MK9. But anyway, 1 through 7, story goes short. Long story short, for like how the first iteration of the timeline goes. Lots of realms. If a realm wants to take over another realm, they gotta fight each other in the tournaments using their champions to the death. Mortal Kombat. You win, I think, 2 or 3 in a row, or 10 in a row, some shit. You get to take over another realm. The only other way is to just fucking invade, but the Elder Gods forbid doing that. Shao Kahn has been trying to take over Earthrealm. They got one last chance to defend themselves, or Shao Kahn, Emperor of Outworld, takes over Earthrealm. Raiden, the Thunder God, puts together a ragtag team to put in, because this is the last thing. gun, metaphorical gun pointed at the earth, fate of the universe on the line. I want Iguodala. No, Max Kellerman. Anyway, no, he's got his team, and yeah, he gets Liu Kang, the little Shaolin monk guy. Everybody knows him, the Bruce Lee of Mortal Kombat. So Johnny Cage, another actor dude, Sonya, all the good names from the first game. They get there, they win. Earthrealm is saved. Mortal Kombat 2. Shao Kahn's mad. So he's gonna try again, or I don't remember the exact reasons why we're fighting Shao Kahn in the second one, but now he himself is involved in the Mortal Kombat tournament. The first time he just had his trusted, sorcerer Shang Tsung go in and do shit. Well, he loses. He had revived no, I think Sindel came in 3. He fucking loses in MK2 as well. And we bring in Kung Lao, descendant of the old Earthrealm champion Kung Lao. Whatever. And he's a part of the story. MK3. Now, some time has passed. Original Sub-Zero has been killed in the second one by Scorpion because some dude told him to do so. We'll get into that later. Dude Quan Chi told Scorpion that Sub-Zero killed everyone in his family because he knew Sub-Zero killed Scorpion on Quan Chi's order.
The Scar Sub-Zero is supposed to be Original's brother, right?
Right. So, yeah, we get a new Sub-Zero in there. I think he's Bihan, or Bihan might be the original. Whatever. Bottom line is, he shows up, then their whole ninja clan that he's part of now has robots and shit. But the bottom line of that game is, now Shao Kahn is back, and he's revived the ancient queen of Edenia, Sindel, Katana's mom. She was the princess of Edenia, a realm that had been taken over by Shao Kahn. And also princess of Outworld, because he's like, you my daughter now. No, she wasn't. But he revives her mom, the Red Queen Sindel, for reasons. Apparently it mattered. Anyway, he just said, fuck it. Fuck doing a Mortal Kombat like a normal person. I'm just fucking invading. Deal with it. And so Outworld just starts invading Earthrealm. Raiden gets together at a last tag team. They beat him. Yay, Shao Kahn is dead. Well, Shao Kahn dies, Raiden gets promoted to the status of Elder God. Then we enter Mortal Kombat 4, where it turns out a fallen Elder God by the name of Shinnok, who rules over the Netherrealm, or Hell, in the MK universe, is like, well, Shao Kahn and peeps out the way, I'ma just start doing shit. So now we need it, yeah, and for whatever reason, I'm attacking Earthrealm. Alright, I need my ragtag team back.
4 was the one on 64, the first one in 3D.
Yeah, that was the first 3D one. It was also on PlayStation as well. It was when we entered the 3D era. You had Trilogy, but that's not a numbered Mortal Kombat. That was just, here's all the characters from the first 3 games. Haha. So 4, we begin the second trilogy, and it's a continuation just straight from the first trilogy. It's just now we're dealing with like Shinnok in this first game. Cool, and this Quan Chi guy steps up to the forefront, who seems to be working with Shinnok, and Shinnok's got this really cool amulet thing that I'm not exactly sure what all it does. It's just an artifact of his that matters into the overall plot of the story. Anyway, Quan Chi, or Shinnok, eventually loses to Raiden's new ragtag group of whatevers. He's defeated, but Quan Chi goes over to Scorpion, who is defeating the other Sub-Zero now, and also had to deal with original Sub-Zero coming back as Noob Saibot, whatever. But he's dealing with the other Sub-Zero, and Scorpion's like, by defeating you, I've avenged the death of my family and clan. Now my soul can finally rest. Your soul will never rest, Scorpion. Lin Kuei may have been responsible for your murder, but your family's true killer goes free. What? If you're not the murderer, who is? Quan Chi comes out with his deep-ass voice. I am the one you seek. To defeat my nemesis Sub-Zero, I needed the help of an undead specter. You've done my bidding well, Scorpion, but now it's time to send you to the Netherrealm. And he starts trying to send Scorpion to the Netherrealm. Scorpion says, fuck that shit. Never! Runs, grabs Quan Chi, drags him to the Netherrealm with him, and he's trapped in there with them. And in between 4 and 5, Scorpion is whooping Quan Chi's ass in the Netherrealm. Because Quan Chi is a living person, despite being a necromancer, Scorpion is undead.
Well, yeah,
in hell,
fucking
and
his face is
he's pointing at the guy who killed all the people in his family and tried to frame him, or tried to frame these other guys so that Scorpion can kill them for him. And so he's beating the shit out of him, but eventually, with the help of two Oni, Quan Chi escapes, taking Shinnok's amulet in the process. Because Shinnok being recently defeated, it was easier to get his amulet or some shit. Bottom line is, Quan Chi escapes to the normal realm, teams up with Shang Tsung, and they're like, you know what? You and I, if we were to team up together, we might be pretty dangerous. You know, like a dangerous team up or even a deadly alliance. And we get Mortal Kombat 5's opening where they decide to team up and they kill Shao Kahn and Liu Kang in the opening credits.
The dumbest shit.
Yeah, so main character Liu Kang from the first few games dead in the opening credits of MK5. Deadly Alliance.
That's like being like, hey, it's Street Fighter, let's kill Ryu. What the fuck are you doing?
Right?
Anyway.
Meanwhile, while they're doing all this, they start fighting, and Raiden has to relinquish his status as Elder God so he can come down and fight Shao Kahn, or not Shao Kahn, Shang Tsung and Quan Chi, the Deadly Alliance. He needs to build another ragtag team, so he relinquishes his status as Elder God, because Elder Gods are not supposed to interfere in anything the normal people are doing. They're just sit there, I guess, to judge you. I don't fucking know. But
I was just about to ask why, but I got
he puts together his old ragtag team, and you know they stop the Deadly Alliance. So Shang Tsung has this giant soul tornado that Quan Chi hooks him up with, so he can have souls forever. And at one point, Scorpion runs in, and they're like, he's like, I'm gonna fucking kill you, Quan Chi. I came out of hell to fucking get you. And he's like, yeah, fuck you. Throw you in the soul tornado. Oh shit, it's made out of pure energy. And it tears Scorpion's body into shreds. More details on Scorpion later. MK6. We get introduced to a character called Shujinko, which, fun fact, kind of just means main character, or is a term used to reference protagonists in like some Japanese things. So it's kind of funny.
That's the generic looking
dude. Yeah, the generic old dude. Yeah, he's the main character of MK6. The name that I will mention after I mention what happens in his story. At a very young age, Shujinko really looked up to the heroes of Earthrealm and shit like that, and the champions of the Elder Gods, like the original ancient Kung Lao. And he and his friends would pretend to be it. One day, a little orb comes up, like a fucking Navi. Hey, listen! But he's got a deep voice, and I forget his name that he uses. But he's like, yo, you need to be the champion of the Elder Gods. What? I'm a messenger for them, and they want you to do a quest. You gotta go around all the realms and collect a bunch of items. In return for doing this, to prove that you're the champion of the Elder Gods, because you gotta have help, because I'm coming to you as like a teenager or a kid, I'm going to give you ability to pretty much, you can copy the fighting styles or easily adapt the fighting styles of anyone you face. So as you go on this journey, the more people you fight, the stronger you'll get. But you got to get these like 8 items, one from each of the realms.
Mokujin.
Huh?
I said Mokujin.
Mokujin? Yo, God.
Edge Master.
Right. More of a Necrid. Where he's got little moves from everybody, not his moves change every round.
Not the entire moveset. I got you.
Right. He doesn't change his moves every round to a different person, but he has parts of everybody's moves in his moveset. And he fights a bunch of people halfway on his journey, and this journey takes him from when he's a teenager till he is that generic old man, especially because he gets imprisoned in the realm of order at one point for like a good 20 years on this lifelong quest. Halfway through that quest, he comes across, or near the end of the quest, he's got like 7 of the items, and he's putting them all in this sacred place that the Elder Gods tell him to put these Kamidogu. Those are the items, the 7 or 8 Kamidogu. He's putting the Kamidogu where they go, and he comes across a familiar yellow ninja that's like, what the fuck you doing here? And he's like, I'm the champion of the Elder Gods, and they want me to get the Kamidogu. Bullshit! I'm the champion of the Elder Gods, and they say I need to stop your ass. Now, why is Scorpion claiming he's the champion of the Elder Gods? Well, simple. with his body being turned to shreds by the Soul Tornado, the Elder Gods, though they're not really supposed to interfere, they kind of just save his life, bring him to like that Kamidogu area and be like, be our champion. Some motherfucker's getting all these Kamidogu and putting them here. He ain't supposed to be doing that. Can you, do this? If you do, your family won't be dead anymore. I'll fucking do it then. My family won't be dead anymore. So, bottom line is, Shujinko beats him, eventually gets the 8th Kamidogu, or the final Kamidogu, puts it there. And then the fucking little Navi comes up. Yeah, you did it! Congratulations! The Elder Gods will be very pissed off with you. What? Yeah, I ain't Navi. I ain't shit. Those Kamidogu, I'm the Dragon King. I ruled Outworld before Shao Kahn was the big deal. So, guess what? I'm back. I've been resurrected. Those 8 Kamidogu were put in the realms to seal me away. And now me, Onaga, the Dragon King, is back. So he comes in, and then you get the name of the game, Mortal Kombat Deception.
Oh!
Because the whole time through Shujinko's story, he was being deceived. Anyway, in the Deadly Alliance, here comes Onaga having Shujinko's backstory meeting up in the timeline with things. And he's like the villain they gotta beat in MK6 Deception. Lots of other characters have been added over the years. A lot of extra convolution things. Trust me, I skipped a shit ton. I could go into detail with a lot of characters that I'm not going into. Bottom line is, they beat Onaga. Onaga is defeated. But we get the 7th game because the people who make Mortal Kombat were like, we got too many fucking characters and this story's too convoluted. Fuck it, we're gonna hit the reset button. But we're gonna have a game do it. We're gonna have Armageddon, where, for reasons, let's just say the true main character of Armageddon is even more generic and has even more of a silly, let me just go nostalgia across the series. Technically, I've been on a life quest for the whole length of the Mortal Kombat timeline and you never heard of me shit. But I gotta beat Blaze at the top of this pyramid to prove I'm a better half-god than my half-god brother to my parents. And other people found out if you beat Blaze, you get some super one extra wish. By now, Liu Kang is back as a zombie. Everything's gone crazy. But the idea is we got everybody from Mortal Kombat in one game. They're gonna kill each other, and then we're just gonna have the next MK game be from fresh. Maybe Scorpion and Sub-Zero will come back, but we're starting fresh. Was the idea.
Worst fatality engine ever. I understand what they were trying to do.
Same.
It was creative.
That was the idea.
But the execution was bad.
Yes, the create your own fatality thing. Yeah, it was a very hype to build up to it. Good in theory, bad in execution.
Yeah, it was. I understand what they were trying to do.
Yeah. So,
you gotta take risks to be great. Anyway.
After Armageddon, which is technically MK7, they don't come out with the next Mortal Kombat game. Instead, they have Mortal Kombat versus DC, kind of to combat Marvel versus Capcom, rival companies dealing with their rival things.
Fatalities ever.
The heroic brutalities.
Oh my god!
Because it's the only Mortal Kombat main series game that has less than an M rating. Because we can't have the superheroes be in an M rated game at this point. Because they're still scared to do that at this time. They're still scared to do that. But after that, we get Mortal Kombat 2011, which is just called Mortal Kombat, but it's colloquially referred to as MK9. Because rather than just starting the series over like it's saying it is, or only starting the series over like it's saying it is, story-wise, at the end of Armageddon, everybody's dying left and right. Shao Kahn has returned for reasons, because everybody's back, and he's ready to kill Raiden. In his last moments, Raiden comes to an epiphany. He must win. I know what I'll do before I die. I will send a message telepathically to myself in the past. I only got a couple seconds before my
Or
head
something like that.
explodes from this fucking sledgehammer. I need to tell myself this. So he sends himself a message at the beginning of MK1's tournament. He must win. And that's all he says. He must win. And then he dies. And shows Raiden visions of himself dying. And now past Raiden's like, he must win. Got it, future Raiden. The fate of the universe must depend on it if you're sending yourself a message. Who's he? I think this Liu Kang guy I thought there was something special about him. He must win this MK tournament. And so he starts trying to manipulate things that happen in the MK storyline because of the half images his future self sent him, and he starts guessing wrong on a bunch of things. Turns out Sub-Zero, younger brother Sub-Zero, ends up becoming one of the ninja robots now instead of Smoke. Other stuff's going on left and right. People dying that shouldn't have died. MK3, Liu Kang dies again. This time not because of a deadly alliance, but because of mistakes. Because of Raiden's clusterfuck trying to fix the original trilogy and failing with the first two combat tournaments. A lot of the main good characters die, including Liu Kang. Liu Kang is also killed off on the side. Again, damn. That's MK9. But at the end of the day, it takes till the end of that game for him to realize, oh, Shao Kahn is illegally invading Earth right now. And he shouldn't be able to do that. But if he wins, he's breaking a rule that's way too cardinal, and the Elder Gods will have to interfere, thus beating him. That's who was supposed to win, because it gets rid of Shao Kahn.
That makes sense, but that is extremely cryptic.
Yeah, Shao Kahn must win. Okay.
That's a pretty good twist. It's just cryptic as fuck.
Yeah, no, I'll give you that. What you said is exactly right.
It's a pretty good twist.
It's like you couldn't have said when Shao Kahn invades and just says, fuck it, after you win, let him win, because the Elder Gods will step in. You couldn't say, like, let Shao Kahn win, or some shit like that. No, he must win. The most generic shit ever.
The only thing he'd be like, okay, well, he didn't mean Sonya, he didn't mean Katana. Like, that's it, because it's he. Other than that, like, the fuck.
So then we get MKX, continuation from 9. A lot of the characters you know and love are dead. But Sonya and Jax, or Sonya, Johnny Cage, Jax, they get to live at least. They all, Sonya and Johnny have a kid and get divorced. They get married, have a kid, and get divorced. This is like 20 years later. The kid's an adult now, damn near. Jax has a daughter. Scorpion has like a apprentice, and Kung Lao has like a descendant or cousin.
His cousin, yeah.
Kung Jin. And there's other shit that happens that doesn't really matter. Characters that were introduced late in the first trilogy start making their appearance, or characters introduced in the second trilogy start showing up in MKX, as well as these new characters.
Shout out to Ronda Rousey.
Including Shinnok. Shinnok comes back for shits and giggles for that game too. But now Liu Kang is dead, so the new main good guy is Johnny Cage and his family line, because reasons. That green shit, that's just the green light of destiny. That's not what they literally call it, but plot device wise, that's what it is.
I was really hoping they didn't call it that.
Yeah, it's the green light of destiny. And, whatever. Shinnok loses. Raiden stops being an Elder God again because reasons. However, now, at the end of that game, it turns out, now that Shinnok's dead and Netherrealm needs a new ruler, a very pissed off Liu Kang is a Spectre now, and so is Katana. And Liu Kang is like, fuck it, I'm gonna rule hell. And be a bad guy. Fuck this shit. Enter MK11, the one I know the least about, but sometime bitch Elder God shows up, and she's like, I hate it when motherfuckers fuck with time. Something like that. Something like, not Kronos, but something involving Kronoa, something like that. Crow something, because it's a play on that whole thing. But yeah, she shows up, she's like, God damn it, I hate when motherfuckers fuck with time. Stop fucking with time. Like every person who rules over time is when you decide to go off the deep end with time travel. And there's more time travel and other dimensional shenanigans, but at the end of the day, MK11, and I only say that because I really don't know everything exactly in MK11, but I do know it ends with Liu Kang becoming pretty much a new god, saying "fuck you, Raiden." Raiden's no longer got any godlike powers because reasons that I'm unclear of, and then Liu Kang resets the universe.
How? Time travel?
And because he's the super god or some shit. He makes that like in the trailer for MK1, there's a guy talking about this and there's a new chance to do so and so, and then fucking Liu Kang comes from the sky as like a super god, like, yes, I fucking reset the universe and now I'm super god. I don't know why. I need to play MK11 story. I'll probably do that on stream sometime this summer, just so I know before MK1 comes out. But that's why it's MK1 now. I was joking with a friend that Liu Kang should send a message to his past self to, like, hey, when you see Raiden in this new universe that I just made, kill that motherfucker on the spot. He's only bad news for you. You gotta die every time. In fact, you know what I want you to do? I want you to look at him in his eyes after you stab him in the chest right, and then you look in his eyes and just say, he must win. And when he asks you who, say exactly. Let his ass fucking fall on the ground. Like he must win. Who must win? Exactly, Raiden. Exactly.
So Liu Kang reset the universe, and that was the end of 11.
Pretty much, and the beginning of 12.
So we don't know what happens after that. We don't know what happens.
Well, after that, right? And again, I am only like 80% sure of that being the end to 11, based on what I saw in the trailer, what my friends have said, and then stopped saying once they realized I hadn't watched all the story of 11. But from what I've been able to put together, and when I talk to them about what little bit I know, and them not necessarily refuting the possibility of it, there you go. Anyway, that's how you take up another half hour of the show.
I mean,
it's not like it's the first time I went on like a lore rant to talk about shit.
No, that was fine because that's the first time we ever talked about the lore of Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
And like I said, it is interesting, and you know way more about this shit than my ass. So
there was a time I knew all the characters. Like there was like an online quiz that was like, "Can you name the?" I think it was when Armageddon it came out around that time. Can you name all like 58 MK characters from so and so? And I was like, yes. I think the fastest I've ever entered it in was like 3 minutes when I filled that out. I've forgotten some since then.
I feel like I might be able to do not necessarily all, but a majority.
I definitely can't now because of 11 and all the side characters in the recent trilogy.
True, but I feel like maybe up until X, if not 11. If not 11, up until at least X, if not 9, I'd be able to get at least 80, 85%. Oh, yeah. Apparently, which I didn't know, leave it up to Jazz, but apparently one of my favorite characters to play with in the fucking like series is one of the most hated. I loved Movado. Everybody apparently hates him.
No, he's making a comeback popularity wise.
Type shit.
Sue Hal. Which is crazy that the nigga with the fucking chest laser is so lame, but they made it happen.
Well, speaking of shit that
people also don't like Ken Masters. I mean Cobra. Do you know who Ken Masters is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I know I was gonna say which basically that is exactly. Or Kai, who his only identity is I shoot fireballs.
And I'm black, y'all.
I was gonna say and I'm black, but I didn't want to go there.
No, a lot of people like Kai because of that second fact.
Because it's like, no, Kai.
That was a reason a lot of people like, oh man, representation, which is cool.
Well, I mean,
I like that too. I'm not faulting people liking representation. People, I liked Kai partially for that reason too.
But I'm saying
I wanted to play Darius, but I ended up not liking the character.
Darius sucked. I mean, we would always pick BD Joe and Skate. Like BD Joe, Crazy Taxi, and Skate from like fucking Streets of Rage. Like, come on, duh.
I didn't pick Balrog earlier in my life, though. Ironically enough, I play a
Well, well, play with us. That's a terrible thing.
Play with us next week. If you would like to play with Jazz, you can find. You know what? Don't play with us. Play our sounds. Play us. Play our music. Play our podcast. Jazz, if they want to play your music and listen to you, they want to press the play button when you're involved, where do they need to go?
You can follow us on our respective socials, such as, like he said, yours truly. Anywhere you stream your music, you can go ahead and look me up under the name Superjaz, which is spelled Superjaz. I am a rapper, so you can go ahead and find my debut solo album that I dropped back in 2021 called My Secret Identity. So you can go ahead and type in Superjaz, My Secret Identity, since I'm not that famous yet. Also, go ahead and find and follow me on Twitter under the name Superjaz2. So that's Superjaz number 2. And of course, go ahead and find and follow me on Instagram under the handle Forever Superjaz, the word forever spelled correctly. And it is so crazy to think, I believe by the time this goes up, I will be a week and a half away from the opening of the very first show of my production company. So go ahead and find and follow me on Facebook. I started a production company, and it is called Aquarian Rising Productions. So go ahead and give that a like. And the inaugural show is going to be A Colored Funeral, which is going to be opening June 16th. And it's 16th, 17th, 18th, 23rd, 24th, 25th. Fridays and Saturdays at 8, Sundays at 2 at 517 Theater Lane. Mature subject matter and street parking. It is not handicap accessible because the building was founded back in 1926. So, yeah, unfortunately. But, yeah, where can they find you if they want to play your sounds or your images or your audio and your visual?
Well, obviously they can find me here every week, every Wednesday on the Whatever We Want podcast. You can also find me elsewhere on YouTube under feogrande. That is F-E-O Grande. I have a show on that channel as well called This Guy Hasn't Seen with a good friend of mine and a good friend of the show, Bill Smith.
Shout out to Bill.
That's right, and this week I believe we're watching The Prestige, starring Batman and Wolverine.
Which
with special appearance by Black Widow and Alfred.
Which somebody unintentionally spoiled for me online. But then I said, I know you didn't just spoil that for me. And in the comment, he was like, it came out like 15 some odd years ago. I was like, damn, good point.
I watched it without being spoiled. Ha ha. But that said, I also have a Twitter and Twitch. That's Giotavi, Giotavi. Come on in. Stop on by.
Word. Well, that being said, whether it be about kids these days or kids those days or kids our days, whether it be about Boston or other cities and sports teams or certain big cities or smaller cities and the municipalities that surround them, whether it be about different lores of different things that go different deep in which ways and whatnots and Mortal Kombats and the 12s or the ones on the ones and twos. See what I did there? What are we going to talk about next time?
Whatever we want.
Be nice to yourself, everybody.
Adiosness.